The next lesson for rules for exponents is dividing bases. You're going to subtract exponents. So if we look at the mnemonic I gave you, mad spam, the MA will help you remember if you multiply bases, you're going to add exponents. The DS, if you divide bases, you're going to subtract exponents. And the PM is if you have power to power, you're going to multiply. Okay, remember these have to be when you have the exact same base, like x and x or 5 and 5. Okay, so now we're going to do some notes. I gave you the notes and you're supposed to attach them to the left hand side of page 41 of your composition book. So find those and let's start filling those out together. Okay, so now I have an x and an x. They're exact same base and they're dividing the bases, so that means I'm going to subtract exponents. So I've got my 3 and I'm going to take that 3 and I'm going to subtract what's at the bottom, which is also a 3. So x3 minus 3 is 0, so I have x to the 0 power, and we've already talked about that. That's going to be 1. Okay, the next one, we have 25 x to the 12th over negative 5 x to the 4th. Okay, first of all, let's deal with the numbers. Okay, that's what you want to deal with. If you have numbers, deal with those first. Negative 5 will go into 25, negative 5 times, and now we have the same base, which is x, and it's dividing, so now we're going to subtract. So 12 minus, and I'll get rid of that, it's going to be 12, I didn't mean to get rid of the 2, I meant to get rid of the thing to look like an equal sign. So 12 minus 4 is 8. So it's going to be x to the 8th power. Okay, the next one, we don't have any other x, we just have one x. So I'm going to change my color here and make it blue this time. So I have x to the 10th power. But now I have a y. I have a y to the 5th and y to the 1st. And they're dividing because they're both y's. We're going to subtract the exponents. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, so now I've showed an example of dividing bases. You're going to subtract exponents. The next few problems are just a little bit of review. It's the mad spam. Now we're multiplying bases. Our bases are 4. We've got a 4 here. Let me find my cursor. Okay, we have a 4 here, and we have a 4 here, and there's an invisible 1 here for an exponent. So we're multiplying bases. That's a 4. We're going to keep our base, and we're going to add exponents. 2 plus 1 is 3. And we're just going to leave it like that. We don't need to multiply it through. If you want to, you can. Okay, the next one, our basis is x. We're multiplying bases. We're going to add exponents. So we have a 5, a 2. There's an invisible 1 there. So 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 more is 8. Okay, now we have numbers. The numbers need to be multiplied together. We need to multiply the 7 and the 6, and that gives us 42. Now we have the same base, an x and an x. So now we've got our x, and we are going to add our exponents. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, so that's our answer for that one. Okay, the next one at the bottom. Again, we're doing some multiplication here. So we're going to multiply the numbers. Let me find my cursor. We're going to multiply our numbers, and our numbers are negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. And then we have an a, and that so we have an a to the 4th and a to the 7th. So if I add those together, I get a to the 11th. And then we have just ab, and that's my answer for that one. Kind of wrote them kind of close together. Sorry about that. Okay, the next problem, I'll go back to red so you can kind of see what number I'm writing. I have 11 times 4 is 44. Okay, I have a base of m, and now I have a 4 plus a 4 is 8. And then I have a base of n. So n to the 3rd and n to the 1st is n to the 4th. So that's my answer for that one. And again, they're kind of written kind of close together. Sorry about that again. And the last one. This one is a dividing problem. First of all, I'm going to take care of my numbers first. So now I have 27 divided by negative 3. So here I have 27 divided by negative 3. I'm going to take care of that first, and I get a negative 9. And now I have the x's. We have an x to the 14th and an x to the 10th. They're dividing bases. I'm going to subtract 14 minus 10 is 4, so I have x to the 4th power. Okay, so that is dividing bases. You're going to subtract exponents.